Hi, welcome to the director's cut of the hiking videos that I made this summer. I will be talking through some of the behind the scenes and other things that I didn't get to include in the video. Let's go. Okay, so this is the video that I made. It was the third video that I made, and it is all about my gear that I was carrying on this hike. And the main reason that I filmed this video was because I wanted to I had so many friends asking me, like, how do you fit it all into your pack and what do you even bring? So this was my way of trying to explain it. I've, sent friends my lighter pack list, like my gear list before, but it's hard to understand unless you actually see those things if you're not a hiker. So
Hi, I'm Stitches, and this is everything I'm taking with me to through hike the Continental Divide Trail and the Great Divide
I
Trail.
didn't have a tripod filming this little stop motion thing, so I was just taking pictures and trying to guess, like standing in the same spot and trying to take a picture. So that's why it kind of shakes all over the place. Yeah. Now I have a tripod, but
Combined. My pack base weight is 8.6 pounds, and you can see everything I'm bringing in my lighter pack. First, the pack and pack liner. Then for shelter, I have a tarp, which I set up with my trekking poles and some stakes, and I use a bivvy. I sleep on a trimmed foam pad with a quilt. Inside my pack,
man, yeah, this took so long to film because I filmed every single thing and then I had to cut each thing to just like a little bit. Yeah, I think it took me like a whole day to film it and edit it.
carry a rain jacket, a buff, wind pants, extra socks, and an alpha fleece. Everything fits inside my beanie besides my microgrid fleece. Outside my pack, I carry wind mittens that work like bags for my wind jacket, gloves, and rain skirt. Clipped outside the pack are sandals, a cap, and
This system, clothing-wise, worked actually fairly well for me. The only thing I think I changed was the rain layering system towards the end, just because it rains a little bit more in Canada, or typically rains more in Canada than it does in New Mexico. And I ditched the sandals. That is one thing that I did not use after a point. I think I had not used sandals on the PCT, and then I added them back because I thought, okay, actually, it's kind of nice to have that luxury of some other shoe to wear when you're in town. And I thought I would want it for this hike too, but turns out I wasn't spending enough time in town for it to be worth changing into sandals for. So yeah, swapped.
pad. In my side pockets, I'm carrying my toilet kit, which is a trowel, emergency TP, doggy bag, powdered soap, and a bidet.
One of the things that I swapped here was I got rid of the bidet, mostly because the bidet that I was using ended up getting bent for some reason. I don't know how it got bent. It's pretty hard plastic, but maybe it melted and then it got bent. But yeah, it didn't really fit on my cap as well. And then I started doing like a loose cap and just kind of dripping that to make a bidet work instead. And then I eventually was like, I don't think I need a bidet. Like I could just do this. It's lighter. One less step of taking off a cap and putting another cap on. So yeah, just swap to doing that. And the simpler you can make things, the better.
For water, I have a bladder, a smart water bottle, a Sawyer filter, and a coupler, and a soft flask with a bite valve.
One of the things that I tried to do for this hike this year was I tried to make everything as efficient as possible. So all of the things that took me more time than I wanted them to on previous hikes, I tried to cut that down. So one of the things that I didn't like about my filtration before was that I would normally sit there with the gravity filtration for, however much time, 10, 15 minutes while it filtered slowly by gravity. And I wanted to just like take it and keep going. So what I ended up doing was I ended up, putting a clip on top of the Canuck bladder, strapping that to my chest strap, and then holding the bottle while I was walking. I also used a soft flask, initially thinking I was going to hold the bladder like this while walking. Didn't end up happening. The soft flask, I found it to be kind of difficult to keep clean because it would just grow a lot of bacteria in that little valve thing. And then plus because it's soft, it like slowly bounces out of my shoulder pocket fairly soon. And then once I lost it and a truck ran it over. So that was the end of the soft flask for me.
In my ditty bag, I have first aid, repair kit, emergency pads, toothpaste tabs, sanitizer, and a roll of lime. For kitchen, I've got a cold soak jar, a spork, and a squeeze bottle for olive oil.
The only thing that changed for me here was I swapped the squeeze bottle top for just a regular pouring bottle. I didn't end up drinking that much olive oil in the end. I think I should have probably tried to do more of that, but I was just too lazy to even go grab the bottle and pour it in my food.
Electronics, I've got a camera and 2 rolls of...
Let's see what changed here. So I added more power because I found that One power bank is normally enough to get me through 3 to 4 days of hiking, but with the amount of video editing and video taking that I was doing, I was running out of power. So I ended up adding two more by the end. So I had three power banks by the end of the hike. But I had two power banks for most of it, I think up until like Montana. And then I also added more of the charging cables just because these fail so easily. And I added another one of the little watch adapter attachments because, yeah, once that thing fails, I don't have a way to track things. So I just wanted to have a backup. So more backups is the answer for electronics.
Film, a flashlight, a watch, Ziploc so I can use my phone in the rain, a wall charger, power bank, cables, and a satellite messenger. I keep some other small daily items like sunscreen and my toothbrush.
The things that I changed here, I think I swapped. I never used that sunglasses case. I just always had my sunglasses around my neck. I swapped the little screw top toothpaste container for a toothpaste tablet container for a flip top, just because the screw on was way too hard for me to do with cold fingers. I never used that towel. I think I used it one time when I did like a paper towel shower in town, but I didn't really need it technically, so I don't know if I would bring it again. Sunscreen stick, in theory, really nice, but I just prefer normal sunscreen, I guess. And I go through the sunscreen stick way too fast. So, and they're hard to buy again in town.
Easily accessible on my pack, in my shoulder strap pocket, or attached to my pack. Most food stays inside my pack, but I keep electrolytes, carb mix, and my 7 snacks for the day in my bottom pocket. Dinner goes in the back pocket. The bigger changes I'm making this year are around how fast I can filter water, apply sunscreen, set up camp, and get things in and out of my pack, which is all little stuff that adds up.
Yeah, I did do a lot of thinking around what I would do differently to make things more efficient for myself when I was hiking. I just felt like I needed to take every advantage that I could. I don't think I'm the fastest hiker. So, yeah.
For weeks and weeks. We'll see if it works.
I would say it mostly worked, honestly. I was pretty happy with my gear for the most part. So, yeah. Great. That is gear.